A few weeks ago, you were named the Time Magazine Athlete of the Year. Time asked you to define your year in one word, and you said historic. We can do better. We can give you 2 words to define your year. What would they be if you could do that?
2 words?
2 words.
That is hard. I would say, like, I don't know, life-changing maybe?
That's a great one. I think
really
And
that's
like all in a good way. Like, I mean, things just change really fast. Like, as you guys know, like that's just how the world works. And especially with social media, people see a lot of your life, but that's what makes it fun and why I've had so many cool opportunities too. So it's crazy. Like looking back at a year ago today or around this time, like I was just beginning my senior year of college.
Imagine this, you've just finished college, walked across the stage, and received your diploma, feeling on top of the world. Then, suddenly, you're thrown into the spotlight of the WNBA. For A'ja Wilson, this felt like a nightmare, but for Kate...
Well, my goodness. Is it just me, or are WNBA players sort of full of themselves? A'ja Wilson loves to do 2 things. 2 things. Play the victim, and is completely delusional as well, I guess. She's petty, too.
Caitlyn Clark, it was a dream come true. 2 players, 2 very different experiences. While A'ja complains about the tough schedule in American sports, though it's not really the hardest, Caitlyn is out there making a huge impact, calling her year life-changing. In a recent interview, Caitlyn spoke honestly about her first year as a pro and her shift from college basketball. This has led people to question if A'ja is right, or if Caitlyn is just built differently, or if A'ja is being too soft. Let's dive into IT.
Coming back, like, do you feel like as like professional athletes, you guys have like the most like stressful, like strenuous, like careers?
Yeah, for sure.
To IT's interesting how in professional sports, everyone thinks their schedule is the hardest. But A'ja Wilson recently made a bold claim that has fans scratching their heads. She said that the WNBA has the toughest schedule of any American sport. Now, let's take a look at how other sports compare. First, there's Major League Baseball, where players play 162 games.
I feel like for us, like we don't have, our rookie orientation is not like anything too crazy. It's literally like, obviously like a day before the draft and you're sitting there and you're talking, but it's like we don't get to go work out for teams. We don't have a combine.
Over 6 months. That's nearly every day, sometimes 2 games a day. Then, there's the NBA and NHL, both with 82 games in about the same time frame, which is a lot of games. The WNBA, however, plays only 40 games over 4 to 5 months, which is less than half of what the NBA does and a quarter of the MLB's schedule. But according to A'ja, the WNBA's 40 games is the toughest schedule. Fans didn't hold back in their reactions.
Literally go from college. I remember it was like, I went in, I got drafted. I literally did training camp and I came back to college just to walk to graduate. And then I had to go play my first preseason game. Like we don't have, like you don't have time to even like, I remember Jackie was just like, I had to get my draft dress in a matter of a day.
Pointing out the obvious differences, like how the NBA plays 82 games compared to the WNBA's 40. Many fans found her claim ridiculous. A'ja also complained about how the schedule was disrupted by the Olympics. So, what's going on here?
And I'm just like, there's no way, one of the biggest nights of my life, I have to like be rushed. But you kind of have to, like it's college, then you go right into training camp, and then if you play overseas, that's like late October maybe, depending on when your club wants you over, and then you're gone. Like you're going, and then it's Olympic year, and you're going, and it's insane. So yeah, I would have to say our schedule is pretty crazy.
Is A'ja just having a rough time, or is there something more? Some fans think the jump from college to the pros can be tough for rookies, especially after a full college season. But honestly, every professional athlete faces this kind of adjustment. So, do we really believe A'ja's complaints? Feel this way not really Caitlyn Clark.
For us, we had 6 Olympians this year. So that's like half our roster gone. And while other teams may have their whole roster, so they can like train, they can
practice, hoop, do all
like
that.
Go on vacation, they can rest. So like it's a lot, and I'm surprised we did what we did this year because it was just a lot of just stuff going on. And stuff is the Olympics, but still stuff.
So WNBA superstar Caitlyn Clark who has broken many records, recently spoke up about an issue that's causing a stir. And what she had to say is definitely putting A'ja Wilson in her place. While some players complain about the challenges they face, Caitlyn Clark is out there
A'ja Wilson is the queen of the delusion. She's absolutely the queen of the delusion.
writing the rules on how to dominate in the game. The surprising part? She's dealing with the same issues as others, but her attitude is completely different. Imagine this: you've just played in the national championship, and then suddenly, you're drafted to the pros. You have to pack up your life and move to a new city. And to top it off, you only get a week and a half of preseason camp. That's the whirlwind Caitlyn stepped into. But instead of complaining about it, she calls it life-changing. She's not just talking about it, she's actually making it happen. In her first year, Caitlyn won the rookie.
At that point, it is what it is. Everybody has to deal with the same thing. So that's what I told myself, is like, there's no point in complaining. Everybody's dealing with it. It's not any different.
It's a good mindset to have.
Yeah.
of the Year award and made the All-WNBA first team, something no rookie has done in almost 20 years. Along the way, she also broke 62 records. You might wonder how she handles the pressure. Caitlyn has a refreshing attitude about it. She says there are no excuses, no whining, just hard work and gratitude. And here's something.
I basically went to the draft right after, got picked, and then you basically pack up and move. Like, you're moving in April, you don't even finish senior year of college. And I guess for you guys, like, what was it? You go to the combine. How long do you have to prepare for the combine? A few months, and then you get drafted, and you still got a little time to get acclimated to the new city.
For sure.
You know, you have camp, whatever. Like, it's not like that. Like, camp for us is like a week and a half.
Right.
And then you're
let's go
on the
play.
court.
Interesting, while other players were complaining about the tough schedule, Caitlyn took the mid-season break for the 2024 Paris Olympics as a chance to bond with her Fever teammates and recharge. She didn't see the break as a setback. Instead, she framed it as an opportunity. It's also important to note that Caitlyn isn't doing this alone. She frequently praises her veteran teammates for their support, and
I think it was good a little bit too. Like, you don't have time to overthink things. Like, it's just like,
Sure.
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
like, you're just on to the
happening
next.
now.
But
Right.
at the same time, like, you don't, like, I feel like I never really ended the chapter of college. Like, it was just like, you
Right.
up and left. But maybe that's good. You don't have a lot of time to think about it. So I think that's definitely the weirdest part of, you know, women's professional basketball, and obviously college basketball too, is just that change. But that's kind of how it has to be too. So it's just different. But I feel lucky too.
that shows how humble she remains. She's figured out how to be a rookie sensation while staying grounded and hungry for success. What's even more impressive is that Caitlyn isn't just surviving in the pros, she's thriving. Fans are excited to see her play, and TV ratings for the WNBA are going up. It's as if Caitlyn.
We had the Olympic break, so I got a month off in the middle of the season because we had to pause the WNBA season because, you know, the 12 girls go and play in the Olympics, and everybody else, you're not doing much. So got a month off, which I really needed, obviously, because I'd been playing basketball for just a year straight. But obviously so much different from the NFL or the NBA.
Is changing the landscape of women's basketball all by herself. So what's the secret to Caitlyn's success? It's simple. She's showing that success and gratitude can go hand in hand.
For not knowing, you nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, like, I had a lot of really good vets around me too. So I feel very grateful for that. And we had a fairly young team too. So, like, people had been through it fairly recently, so they knew how I felt. But, like, I feel like that definitely is a huge challenge. And that goes for whatever professional sport. Like, you're trying to learn, but also people are looking at you like, you got to perform and, like, be what they drafted you to be.
Even when faced with tough challenges, she sees them as opportunities to grow. In a league where some veterans seem stuck in their ways, Caitlyn brings a breath of fresh air. Her positivity is inspiring a new generation of players and fans. But don't think A'ja Wilson is done complaining. Stay tuned, because she still has more to say.
You come in as a rookie, and like you said, like, you're trying to figure out a new environment, new teammates. Like, you don't want to say too much, you don't want to say too little, and it's just so hard.
Hey. Remember when athletes used to dream about their sport getting more attention? Well, in the WNBA, that dream is now a reality. League's viewership hit record numbers in 2024. You'd think everyone would be excited about the WNBA's growing attention, but not everyone is happy about it. In a move that left many fans confused, A'ja Wilson,
Like in my scenario, and obviously you guys too, like you're already highly thought of. Like people are turning to you to like be something or be someone. So it's hard. Like you're trying to get your feet wet, but also not do too much. And I think that's kind of what I struggled in early on is like, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how they're going to react.
and called the increased attention super annoying. Yes, you read that right. The spotlight that many athletes dream of, Wilson is saying it's too much. So, what's bothering her? Wilson's main complaint seems to be the need to keep proving herself. But let's be honest for a second, isn't that the whole point of professional sports?
This is the time, like we're in the season of women's basketball, and it was so much fun to just like, it was aggravating, I'm not gonna lie, it was super annoying sometimes because you're constantly, you feel like you have to like reprove yourself, and like you feel like you have to like go out and be like, no, this is what y'all been missing, and it kind of took away the fun of the game because you felt like you had to like defend yourself and like defend who you are as a player like every single game.
You need to show up and prove you're the best every time you play. What's really strange is how Wilson's attitude is the complete opposite of what you'd expect. On one hand, she's complaining about all the attention, but on the other, she says people are starting to see how great the players are and how elite they are at what they do. It's a bit of a mixed message. So, why does A'ja Wilson think the growing attention
I don't know. You guys are you're like y'all really really toxic. I don't think we're that toxic. I think we're pettier. Like we're petty for sure.
on the WNBA is annoying? Is it the pressure or the attention? Or is there something else behind it, like a desire for more control? When you're used to a smaller circle, suddenly having millions of people watching you can feel overwhelming. But isn't that the kind of
Finally giving us like what's been due for, obviously in our eyes, 28 years.
growth the WNBA has been hoping for all along? What happens when a sport suddenly gets a lot of attention? It's not all excitement and celebrations. For some WNBA players, it's actually turning into a bit of a challenge. The big question is whether these growing pains could be holding back the
Before Caitlyn Clark, this was the face of the WNBA. No wonder all the ratings and the viewers showed up after Caitlyn Clark got involved. This ain't it. This ain't it. I mean, that's delusional on a whole nother level.
league's progress. Let's look at the numbers. Money talks, and for Caitlyn Clark, it's speaking loudly. She's signed big deals with major brands like Nike, Gatorade, and State Farm. These are huge companies, and Clark's success and visibility are clearly boosting sales. But while Clark is making
The amount of people that have showed up in the stadiums, from the viewership numbers to people really wanting to wear a WNBA player's jersey or buy their merch or whatever it is, or have their shoe, just how it's evolved in such a short period of time, I think shows everyone, there is real opportunity here. And
big money, some of her teammates aren't feeling the same way. But complaining about attention isn't just frustrating, it could actually hurt the league. Think about it, when fans hear their favorite players complaining about the very thing they've been fighting for more attention, it doesn't feel great. It's like inviting someone to a party and then complaining when they show up. Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark is grateful for the attention and growth in women's sports, and the fans love it. The result? A huge increase in viewership, with over 54 million unique viewers across different networks. Not just growth that's a full-blown. I have a feeling about how things will turn out. On one side, we have the
my expectation is to be one of the best players in the world one day. I wouldn't expect anything less than that.
More history for the FIBA rookie.
At this point, continue to be myself, and I think a lot of good will come from that.
Woe Is Me group, led by Wilson, and on the other, there's Caitlyn Clark with her Let's Change the Game attitude. So, who do you think fans will connect with more? Who will sell more jerseys and fill up arenas? Let's put it this way, if you're a WNBA executive, who would you want as the face of your league? Someone who treats success as a burden, or someone who's enjoying the ride and bringing everyone along with her? It's not hard to see that Clark's positive attitude is going to fill more seats and attract more viewers. But there's more to this than just individual players.
The more people can get out and watch the W or watch the college game or whatever it is, the better it's going to be for the future of the game.
This difference in attitude could start affecting entire teams. Imagine being in a locker room with someone constantly complaining about the pressure. Now, picture being on a team with someone who's excited and grateful to be there. Which team do you think will perform better and draw more fans? That's the key. The future of women's basketball isn't about complaining, it's about embracing the spotlight and making the most of it. And leading the way is Caitlyn Clark. While some players might be feeling overwhelmed, Clark is out there changing the game with a smile. Experts are predicting big things for the WNBA in 2025.
That's the reason that you play. It's not because of the wins and the points you score. It's the amount of joy that you can bring people and the young girls that will one day grow up to hopefully, be whatever they want to be and get to talk about those moments too.
With more media coverage, bigger endorsements, and a lot of buzz around women's sports. And at the heart of it all, Clark's star power is expected to grow even more. The difference between Clark's positive outlook and the older players' complaints is huge. While some are bothered by the attention, Clark is showing that a positive attitude can take you far. It's not just about playing basketball anymore, it's about growing the game and inspiring the next generation. That's exactly what the WNBA needs to succeed. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.